You have cheated, like you've kissed Dani, like you're getting caught in lies, but you need to tone down your defensiveness because it's making you look even more guilty.
What Hayley don't know, even though she's insecure, the crazy thing is it wouldn't even wreck Dani and Andre's marriage according to the rules.
Right. Opening up a practice with someone does not make y'all like best friends. I see something in Kat's eyes that I didn't see before. Because we have seen Kat post sex with Tomas looking dead behind the eyes.
You were so hard on him. See, this is why you gotta be careful with these soap opera characters.
Hard on him.
You was all mean to him each and every week. That dummy, that, and now look.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Loving Them Gates, a Beyond the Gates weekly podcast where Brian H. Butters and Queen PR dissects the latest episodes of the new hit show Beyond the Gates. We'll break down all the plot twists, character arcs, and iconic moments with our unique perspectives and a whole lot of love.
Welcome back, gatekeepers! We are here for another weekly recap, Loving Them Gates, Beyond the Gates podcast, where you can get weekly Beyond the Gates content on the characters, the plots, deep dives, recaps, and we have a lot of things cooking as far as how to examine our favorite show, Beyond the Gates. So welcome back. Last week, a lot happened. But I did want to ask you really quick, Brian, how you feel about the writing, because I saw quite a few other gatekeepers on the socials saying how they're impressed with these new writers, and there's definitely been, an increase in quality the past week or so. Do you agree with this?
I think it's just grown all together. Like, no disrespect to the new writing team. I think the show is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So, I think it's coupled with the natural progression of things.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a great show since day one. There are sometimes, I think, we've been watching this consistently. Even though we started the pod back in August, but there might be some weeks where it'd be like, oh, it's not as juicy, but it's still advancing the stories. Where, I've been telling you straight up, like, yo, that Friday episode of Young and Restless was a dud. It wasn't the cliffhanger. I don't think Beyond the Gates has really missed on that Friday cliffhanger. I'm always excited about it. So I'm impressed with the new writers. Shout out to them. Congratulations on the new position. But also, I do see, and what I'm loving is the natural growing of everybody involved, from the acting, the writers, the production,
the makeup,
the
wardrobe, everything. There's definitely that season 1 to season 2 glow up that I like to see in TV shows, because it just shows there's an investment. Niggas was spraying enough Febreze, using enough Tide, and look, and here we are. I also noticed a lot of new faces. Characters are now kind of slowly getting introduced, where phone calls probably would have just been what it was before, and now it's like an actual person on the other end of the call. I'm still hoping for Naomi and Jacob to get an actual house, and because all of their scenes are in their bedroom, which running joke between all of us gatekeepers. But let's get into last week, shall we? I want to say October 3rd.
Somewhere around there.
Something around there. So I want to kick it off with Bill, because I like to kick it off with the stories that I am the most invested in, and this is, of course, a storyline that has me all the fuck in. I even rewind the scenes back because I just have to see like every detail of the interactions between Bill, his ex-wife, his ex-wife's husband, and his current wife, his current wife's interactions with his ex-wife. It's just as messy as it was when the show first started, which I love. So Bill is clearly still obsessed with Dani's marriage to Andre. He has gone as far as using his company's resources to dig into their marriage. He has now officially put his private investigator on him to track Andre's whereabouts and to basically uncover any dirt that he can, so that he can get, and I'm saying this, paraphrasing, but he said, I would need to get him out of Dani's bed and like forever. So he is clearly like locked in and just like fixated on
Yep.
the situation, and it is getting in the way of his marriage.
Oh boy. Yeah, it is. And I think we kind of saw this coming. See, and like Dani said, we said this before. Like, it was fine when Dani was single, she
Mhm.
was home and he was out playing with Hayley. He was having
Playing with
fun.
Hayley is crazy.
Yeah, and she was out there even pulling guns out on him. But now it's like, wait a minute, she getting dick down
Mm-hmm. And it ain't
by
me.
somebody younger, and he might be better. Wait a minute now. So it's one of those things where, you know what? That's what happens
Mhm.
now. Unfortunately, it's probably, he's probably being reminded of all the things he used to love about Dani,
Mhm.
and all the things that they used to do and all the things, and obviously the tragedy. So
Right.
we really see him admit, without admitting, that how immature Hayley is. The way she's
Mhm.
handling the whole situation. You watching him walk around, you can see he's getting frustrated at her, and he would say,
Yeah.
if we stay married, that line right there is
That
like,
alone says where his head is as
mhm,
far as their marriage. And he is more defensive,
yep,
which as someone that's Team Bill, you are lying and you have cheated, like you've kissed Dani, like you're getting caught in lies. But you need to tone down your defensiveness because it's making you look even more guilty when you already have mad shit to hide. We thought
yeah,
Hayley overheard that conversation and knew that he was trailing Andre and doing all of this, but she just thinks it's something else. But she's also not stupid. Hayley is not stupid. As immature as she's been in this situation, the paranoia she's had, like this is probably one of the first times where she's actually right. Her suspicions like are correct, but she
mhm,
embarrassed herself going over to Dani because yes, Bill lied, but assuming that he was at Dani's house and storming into her house looking for her husband like that, she was looking behind the pillows on the couch. Like, girl, you
yeah.
looking desperado. Pathetic.
And if it was so funny and also great to see it on the shoes being reversed. Because what was it, week 3 of the show where Dani was sneaking into their house? So now seeing Hayley come in there losing it, and Dani's just like, nope. Let me guess. And then she read everything. He probably said this. He probably said that.
Yep.
He probably said, and then it's like, yeah, get him how you lose him how you get him.
1,000%. And then just from Dani's point of view, she just got digged down by her husband. Her husband's
Mm-hmm.
out getting them food. She woke up, living her best life today, and you're here in my house looking for your husband who clearly lied to
Yep.
you. So yeah, like you said, seeing the tables reverse, karma's a bitch. Like this is kind of where y'all are at right now. We were saying Hayley was pushing Bill away by doing the most, and now Bill is pushing Hayley away because you are clearly your heart is somewhere else. Not to mention the ED.
Oh, I don't want. Whoa, 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 whoa.
He
Time
threw
out.
that in
Time
there.
out.
He hasn't been able to get it up with
Time out.
her.
Hold on. Hold on.
What?
Because I feel like as a man on this show, it is my duty to defend my fellow man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had
I don't think he
ED.
has ED either. I think
But yeah, I just like, because she up there throwing that claim out there, and then says that why you was, at the doctor and I'm like, she was reaching low, and she abused the first thing they say you shouldn't do in marriage, and that is enter an argument as if you're in a heavyweight fight. She was having a heavyweight fight with him when she brought that up. It's one thing to say, okay, you jealous, is that, but now you just called out and made it seem like he like this insecurity. Now Bill's going to throw the gloves on, and she not ready. As much as we've been watching Bill and how he's been the family fixer for a reason. This man is ruthless and dangerous. So now she's becoming like, oh, she about to make an enemy out of Bill Hamilton. Come on now, like that. So when she said like ED, I'm like,
yeah, I think that was her little way of getting a little shot in there. Like, okay, because
and think about this: if he hears that and he already getting in his mind,
yeah,
what's
you
going on
been getting no
with
dick for a
Dani,
long time, Hayley.
Dani and Andre? He goes, oh, I'm gonna show her what ED is, and then he gonna be trying to get at Dani. And the thing is, what Hayley don't know, even though she's insecure, the crazy thing is it wouldn't even wreck Dani and Andre's marriage according to the rules.
Right.
Because we know Andre will flip. He would flip because of the bill. But according to the rule book, it wouldn't even hurt their marriage because it's within the context of the agreement.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And it just makes you think like, are they going to be able to keep this up? And, and we'll get to Andre and Dani's conversation.
I was going to say, are we talking Hayley and Bill? Are they going to be able to keep this up?
Right. Exactly. But I want to talk about Bill and Andre having words at Orphe Jeans because I was so impressed. I already have said this, that I respect how Andre has approached the ex-husband situation. Like anytime Bill is in his presence, he doesn't act like, like who the fuck are you kind of energy. Like, and I fuck with that because like, Bill, who do you think you are? Like you're pressing me, and he was coming back at Bill like, "Oh, her and Dani ain't my. That's your thing. That ain't my thing." Like he was coming correct, and I was like, okay. For like a split second, I was actually like fully on like 100% Andre. I was like,
he was giving Andre his props.
Like he is really like fuck out of here. Like I make Dani happy, and you're gonna have to get used to that.
Yeah, and I'll even take it a step further. We got to remember they were friends. So the pain that anytime you have a friend and you see somebody else put them in pain, it's going to drive you crazy. So the pain that Bill was dishing to Dani throughout the whole situation, way before Chelsea got kidnapped, Andre was right there soothing her. He was watching her. What, like I said, Nicole didn't realize, and a lot of people don't realize, taking the bottle out of her hand, putting her to bed, literally, tucking her in at night, literally. So
giving her self-confidence back.
Yeah, so he's been waiting. When you really think about that, Andre been waiting for that opening scene because before they had to be in secret, it would have been crossing the line. But in this aspect, he was waiting. It was like he'd been waiting to give Bill a piece of his mind for weeks, months.
And you tracked me down. So now you're really about to catch it. So another to keep going with
you team so now your respect meter for Andre has grown.
I've always respected Andre for what he did for Dani.
But him personally.
So I said for a split second when he was arguing with Bill and Orphe Jeans. Yes.
So just a split second.
Just for that split second. Now, there's always room to grow. There's always time for the Gates characters to move up in my ranking. Now, Andre will always be very low. But he did he got me just that much. And I also respect how he is getting tired of people questioning him. Because he runs into Jacob. In all fairness, Dani is Jacob's mother-in-law, so he is protective, and he's so self-righteous. Always gotta do the right thing. So he, he pressed Andre and was basically like, "I hope your intentions are good," like blah 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 blah. And Andre's like, "Okay, who are you? Like, mind your business, first of all." Like, and I get that energy too, where it's like, all right. And then also, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need to be answering to everyone and having to explain myself every single person I come in contact with. Like me and this grown ass woman made a decision, and that's it. And y'all gonna have to, the only people that really need to feel like they need to say something are her daughters, and they will say what they need to say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The thing about Jacob, because he always has been self-righteous, but because he always trying to do things by the book. But sometimes he just got to understand. It's like that traditionalist in him. He just got to understand. Stay in your lane and mind your goddamn business.
Thank you. Real quick, how do you feel about Dani giving Andre an out after her conversation with her best friend?
Pamela.
Yeah, asking Dani, like, okay, I know as your friend, you can say it's not about Bill, but I know it's about Bill. And if you care about this man as much as you say you do, is this fair to him? Does he deserve better than this? And I think that really clicked with Dani because then they have that conversation and
Hmm.
she basically gives Andre an out, which definitely catches Andre off guard. It looked like he's even like about to cry at some point.
I didn't like it. I didn't
Mm.
like it because all right. So let's be real. Here's the thing. This is what happens often to good guys or decent guys. And I know putting Andre in this category doesn't seem right,
Mm.
but as a part of the nice guys finish last clique that I have
Mm.
lived my life a lot in that lane, what happens is guys like that, they start feeling for somebody, right? And everything's going smooth. But then the woman in her head sees what's best for them
Mhm.
and then tells him, you know what, actually, you shouldn't do that. Let's dial this back because I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to cause you pain. You deserve better than this. You deserve better than me. And the guy is like, wait a minute, I am willing to accept all the faults. I am
Mhm.
willing to accept you wholeheartedly. And it's like, no, it's not you, it's me. And then that leads to
Mm.
Andre in this situation. Like you said, he looked like he was about to cry because it's like, wait a minute, we got something special here.
Mhm.
I love you as a friend. And maybe they are falling in love with each other, but it's like here we have this thing,
Right.
and now you trying to take it away. And then there's in the back of his mind, he's also probably thinking like, she really thinks she got a chance with Bill.
Mm.
So I felt for him. I saw a lot of because I've been on the I've been on the receiving phone calls. A lot of my good friends who've been in the Andre situation, not so much of
Mhm.
that type of relationship, but where the woman will sit there and say, it's not you, it's not me. And then you know what happens?
Mm.
3 to 5 to 10 years later, they come crawling back, said, I messed
Mm.
up. And don't get me wrong, I've seen this with my friends who are women as well. I've seen the guys like, man, I had a good one. I let her go. And then it was like, but that's what I saw in that
Yeah.
situation. And that's it. And obviously, the way Andre is, because we all know he thinks he loves Ashley for
Mhm.
some strange reason, maybe because they delivered a baby together.
Mhm.
But even with that, even though he thinks he loves her, it's still one of those things where it's hard to look at him as a good guy because it's like, well, if Ashley was available, we know
Right.
you would be right
Exactly.
there. But it feels like as he's starting to like really like this, what he has with
Yeah.
Dani,
I think
it's
he is getting used to like, okay, if this is my end game, it ain't the worst end game in the fucking world because I'm married to Danny Dupree, who also
mm-hmm,
has they also have the friendship. And I think it caught him more off guard too because y'all just established the rules, so it's
mm-hmm,
like okay, I thought we were like okay with this, like you defended me to your sister, your family, your daughter, like okay, now all of a sudden, you're giving me an out. So I can't wait to see how
yeah,
that unfolds next week.
because
So
that cliffhanger.
yep, I loved it. So Chelsea and Danny have an interesting conversation about the,
Mm,
the the marriage, and Chelsea was honest. She was like, I'm all here for you living out loud again, feeling like your old self. You're obviously happy. You're getting my dad out of your system, but she didn't expect it to end in them like getting drunk in Vegas and getting married. And she also was like, it would have been nice to get a heads up instead of learning about it like on the internet. How
mm-hmm.
did you feel about that conversation with mother and daughter? And we say all the time that we feel like Naomi's more like Bill and a little bit Nicole, and Chelsea's definitely Dani. So
Yeah,
wasn't it cool to see them kind of talk about this irrational, wild decision that I could even see Chelsea doing something crazy like this one day?
oh gosh, no, I don't want to see that only because I love her and Madison together. But yeah, it made sense. It felt like as Dani started to open up more about it, you saw the maturity of Chelsea. So I liked it, and it solidified everything we had been saying.
Right.
Everything you have been saying since we started doing the show. Dani and Chelsea, that's, not just the modeling, the personalities, the dynamic personalities, they are alike. So, and I'm glad Chelsea was like able to kind of like, it felt like this was the snapback week for her.
Yeah.
Like getting back to who she was. Now let's just put her girlfriend back on screen.
Right. Yes, I'm all the way here for that. The Dani and Chelsea and Nicole also talk with Carlton, who you are not particularly a fan of, but they press him. They're like, okay, what is because he takes Nicole to Doug's funeral after Ted goes to basically invite himself to go with Nicole, and Nicole's like, actually, I got somebody that's taking me, and it's Carlton. So Carlton brings her home, and they question like, what are his intentions? So we get more of a peek into his personality. We see like he's super sarcastic, he's funny, he's charming, he's honest. And we also find out that they are not like besties. Him and Doug are not besties. They are business partners. They all go way back. Carlton and Nicole actually knew each other before Doug. They went to medical
No,
school.
what you call it? Not Doug.
I mean, fuck,
Teddy.
Ted. Oh my God, I'm thinking about Doug. Oh.
So, you was so hard on him. See, this is why you gotta be careful with these soap opera characters. Hard on him. You was mean to him each and every week. That dummy, that, and now look.
And I knew he had to get clipped. But once he got clipped, I was like, damn, I feel bad now. Maybe we ain't see a body. That's true. We don't know who did the body, so he could be. Nope. He could still be alive.
Hey, gatekeepers! Real quick, I want to invite you to catch us on social media. Simply go on our Instagram at 6 Heart Media, where we drop clips of the show as well as the other things we participate in, and make sure you participate in the conversations on our Facebook page. Just go to Love and Them Gates. Hit the like button. But yeah, talk about the idiot. I mean, talk about Carlton.
I think Ted's the idiot. But we learned that Carlton and Ted are not like besties. It's not like Carlton's betraying his best friend. Like they are business partners. Is it still sketchy as fuck? Yes. But we learned that he knew Nicole before she even met Ted and went on that trip where they fell in love. So he has been around for a while. He loves and respects Nicole. People say, Anita, her mom included, that there is a sparkle when Nicole is around him. But Dani, put the wheels to him as she should. Mm-hmm. So you don't feel any differently now after that interaction about Nicole possibly getting her groove back with Carlton, even if it, like Anita said, even if it's like a couple dates, just go date, have a man make you feel beautiful, get dressed up, like basically, girl, get a life, get laid.
I'm mad at you.
Why?
Because you just made me realize something.
What?
Ted is the dummy of all dummies. He is a poor judge of character because of everything you just said. They weren't best friends. They weren't good friends. So the dummy couldn't see that the same way that he couldn't see that Leslie was going to keep coming back after him every freaking time he went into her hotel room. The same way he couldn't see that he was putting more effort into establishing a relationship with his new daughter versus reestablishing and saying I'm sorry to Nicole. I, on this day, have to admit, Queen PR, Ted gets what he deserves, and I am not Team Carlton, but I am team for Nicole getting her groove back, even if it's at Carlton's expense.
Okay.
And I do think he's his own, because there is the part of me that says, okay, y'all became friends or business partner, so all of that, I liked her first, that goes out the window, right? Like, if it's can we keep, as I know you don't like this person, but, there's a football player, and he say on Fridays, can we keep it funky right here?
Who?
Okay, this is what Cam Newton says. Can we get funky right here? So let's just say, there's a certain friend who, likes to use terminology for times of years, if you know what I'm getting at, for his nickname, season. And let's just say he shot his shot. And he was like, Queen P, I like you. And, this, that, and the other. And you was entertaining it. And y'all went on a couple dates, right? And then I come in. He mess up. But then here come I. And I be like, well, yeah, that's my boy. But, we only go back since working with Fox Sports. It's not like we grew up together. So kick him to the curb. Come to me. Would you even respect me as a man, not knowing what you know now?
I would say yes. I would say yes because opening up a practice with someone does not make y'all like best friends. Like there can be that separation in that line. Now I'm saying it's still
wasn't he the best man though? It's hard because old Ted was there and they had a bond, but wasn't he sort of the best man?
I don't recall that
anniversary party. He was the one that let Eva out the closet. That's when we got to know him. Like, okay, this is a noble man.
He was a family friend. The husband's business partner. He was familiar with the family. He's gonna be at their 20th or whatever anniversary party. Like that's normal. Things like people like they knew each other before. They had a connection, and then Nicole went away to some medical conference, meets Ted, and falls in love. Then they start it's not. I mean, it is sketchy, but at the same time, because they are not besties clearly, and also Ted, man up.
You don't think Kat and Martin call him Uncle Carlton?
I don't know. I've never seen them react.
But in reality, do you think? Because if they do, that's even worse. Now, again, because I still had to take my shots at Carlton. I don't like him, but in this position, I want to see him get used.
Yeah,
and I want to see Nicole be like, I want to see her in the streets. I want to see her play with him. Go find somebody else. Shoot, look, if Dani don't want to, bring back Devon Hamilton, or shoot, bring I don't know, Nick, Nick Newman, somebody, right? Let Nicole. She need to play around. Right, but because Ted at this point he needs to feel the lowest of low because he just he is a horrible judge of character. Like when learning that that was never his best friend, so he's like, you lied. Oh, somebody I thought was my best friend. No, stupid. He was never your best friend. So he's just it just made me realize he's just a poor judge of character. He really can't see stuff that's in his face.
He really can't.
He is at the lowest of low. And I don't even know who I thought my lowest character was. Maybe at one point Kat wasn't all the way at the bottom. But Ted is at the low for me right now. And I wanted to like him.
I wanted to like him too, but he is just a fucking doofus. That's how he looks to me, on the show. Especially him just sitting around looking at his wife kissing some other guy being taken out on dates. And I'm gonna say, sometimes the best way to get over a guy is to have a chocolate man take you out on a date and have a fun night, and then you can move on with your life. But I do feel like Nicole is holding back. I think she's scared to move forward physically, mentally, emotionally, even with not even just with Carlton, but anyone. I think she's scared. I think she doesn't know exactly what to do. I think she wants to divorce. I think she wants to divorce Ted, but I don't think she wants to divorce Ted.
That's exactly what it is.
She's also dealing with the disappointment of him sleeping with her again. She has to deal with just Leslie in general tormenting her and her family's life. So there's a lot that Nicole is not dealing with. And as a psychiatrist, I think she is wanting to help everyone else, like Martin and Smitty, and going to her parents' house to talk about Dani's man, or how concerned she is about Dani, and judging Dani's situation. And Dani is like, I am happy. I'm getting
need some of this, girl.
And I'm gonna need you to kind of do the same. And I think it will be really useful for you. So
And then you also forgot one more thing, because now she's going to have to process that her brand new stepdaughter just crossed her daughter. And seeing her daughter hurt and going through this, that's something else that, as the mama bear, because she gives those vibes, that she's got to deal with, because it's like, all right, I just got Martin and Smitty settled. Cool. Because that was taking a lot of stress on her too. Now she got to deal with being there for Kat, because we know right here on this show, Kat is always right. So she got to deal with it. Man, she every therapist needs a therapist.
Right.
She needs to get laid.
Yes,
but Ted needs to get kicked
some
too.
good dicking. She'll be good.
But will that bring her back? Like, will she go out, play a little bit, and say, "Okay, Ted, you can come back home"?
Sometimes that's all you need. Have some fun. You brought up Martin and Smitty. They are finally back together. We see the previews that Smitty even reproposes to Martin, and I gotta give it up to Martin. Martin played the shit out of Smitty. And when you are separated from your husband and y'all are playing, it's kind of like chess, and you gotta kind of like have a strategy. And I think Martin was just like, okay, like we're at that part of the game where I'm gonna have to really like play some mind games, threatening to turn himself in. Like, come on, bro, really? Then saying I'm leaving because you clearly don't know like what you want, and I can't handle this anymore, so I'm out. And acting like he's willing to give the relationship away until, because Smitty doesn't know what he wants. And I think him actually calling that bluff, like Smitty really gave in.
He did.
Martin politicked his way back into that marriage, and had a face turn, because now Smitty ended up begging him to come back after all of this. Smitty's the one down on one knee next week. I gotta give it up to Martin.
I want to be nice. I don't want to say he politicked his way.
No, I mean like emotionally, because that when you are in a minefield when it comes to like marriage, separations, and divorces, it's a fucking, you gotta come to war. It is war. And Martin might have played dirty, and that's
you're right.
It comes with the territory, is what I'm saying. I don't mean it in like a malicious way, like Martin. I mean,
no, I got you.
It's kind of a little bit of emotional manipulation once you get into like the minefield of what they're going through. I don't know.
Nah, you're right. You're right. I'm just glad they're gonna be back together. I ain't want to see them get divorced. I do not want to see them with nobody else, and I think they work well. They need to get a little bit of grip on the parenting. Honestly, they may need a third partner. In the parent side, being June, not saying she needs to be full-time, but I think June can kind of add a little bit of because at the end of the day, she's still a black woman who, if she could be there for Samantha the way she wants to, she will be able to create some boundaries a little bit better and kind of cut out a little bit of the back talk that happens. Because they be sitting up there, man.
They really are in their parents' business in ways that I would be terrified to do.
Because I swear that has to be an age gap no greater than 15 years. Right. I don't think it's the traditional, okay, we was in our mid-20s, 30s and adopted. I feel like Martin and Smitty are probably 34, 35, maybe, and they're like 17 or maybe even smaller than they might. I wouldn't be surprised if Martin Smitty was like 31, 32. I think that age gap is so much smaller. That's
they're more. And I think getting adopted at that age and having same-sex parents, and we talked about this before, I think there's a level of communication that you have to kind of have, just because this is like not a conventional situation. The kids have been through a lot at that point. So Martin being a public figure, a member of the Dupree family. So I think there was already a need for that kind of communication. And then as they got older, like there was no boundary set. So now you have like Samantha chiming in on their relationship issues and telling them what they need to do and stepping in and setting up, meetings and stuff like that. But I'm glad that now the family is back together.
Yeah, now so we can get back into their love lives, the kids' love lives. You're like,
It's
nah,
my
not interested.
it's the kids are like my least favorite, but I do like to see Samantha dating and getting close to her mom.
Yeah, I want to see her do teenage things, sneaking around. Same with not the. I'm glad they got allegedly clipped that one dude, but
Mm-hmm.
homeboy was playing chess and he was trying to
Right.
navigate. I was enjoying seeing the brother and sister dynamic
Yeah,
that
they
they
do have an
had.
awesome relationship.
So it's like, okay, so how do you deal with this? How do you deal with
Right,
that?
right. So another dynamic that we can always talk about forever on the show is Eva and her mother Leslie. They had a busy week as well. So
Mama.
some reason Eva continues to go to her mom for relationship advice. And she follows Leslie's advice. She continues to throw herself at Tomas. And like it feels pathetic, like you're begging him to choose you. And it's just such a like turn off. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about those scenes? Because it's so hard to watch.
Eva, I am begging you. Stop. You are too good for this.
Yes.
Stop it. I look at Tomas and he's the type of dude that like you sit there and like you on the phone, like let's say you like Eva or Kat's cousin or homeboy, like, man, she messing with this Buster dude. Like you watch The Wood.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember, I can't think of the brother's name, but the big brother, right? And he was like, yeah, he talked about his sister. He's like, yeah, they mess with some cat, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, she could do so much better. I thought she had made a big step several months ago when she said, nope, you chose Cat, keep the book, only to see her go back when she said, but we made love. No, you didn't. Like, yeah, it might have been passionate. There might have been, but he used you.
Yep.
But you thought that was love. So that part's annoying. I just want her to get herself together. And I get, the problem is her mother's like a bad drug to her.
Yep.
Because it's like for years, that's all she had. That's all they had. And you remember when they were planning to take down Nicole and Ted, you saw the evilness in Eva. And we're going to get them, mama. All that. And then all of a sudden they embraced her and they gave her what she always wanted, which was family. And we started to fall in love with Eva. You know what I mean? But now I need her to find a friend. Like she needs a homegirl.
Yep.
That she can rely on, because she's going to, like, at one point she was talking to Doug. But she
was at the casino and shit.
Yeah. She needs a homegirl. You know what? You know who'd be a good friend for her?
Oh.
This is wild. Derek. They could probably be an oddball friend, friendly. Like, he makes dumb decisions, but then she can point out the stupidness of his decisions. But he's been so square, and he's like the good guy, so he should be able to, because you remember, he could point out the boyness in Andre.
Yeah.
He could really spot that in Tomas. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Derek would spot that, and because he's a man now. And I'm going to give Eva the credit and not say like what anybody said, they can't. I don't think she would cross the line with him. One, he's having some challenges right now, and she would respect Ashley. Remember, they went to go visit her, so that's what needs to happen. Shoot, why her and Ashley should be friends, right? Aren't they mother's friends? They should be like,
yeah, but then it gets complicated with Naomi, and then I don't know, but
Naomi don't got nothing.
I thought she was gonna say Shanice.
No, yeah,
like someone that could be like, girl, like you, like, oh, you wildin', like, girl, or you could do better than him. Because I feel like any real homegirl would say, like, you can do better than Tomas. Kat can do better than Tomas. But
Shanice don't have no friends. You're right.
Even Jan was like, do you have any friends? Like, do you have a social life? Because it seemed like all you do is work and worry about your mom. And she was like, I had one friend, Tomas. And it's just like, girl, like...
You know what? She need to connect with her goddamn niece. She started looking like, remember Martin was inviting her to the house?
Martin does open up to her.
Yeah, she need to rely on Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Brother would say, "Don't cross my little sister," because
Secret.
there's still, well, see, there's always going to be that he's going to have a loyalty to Kat because they was in the trenches together. You know what I mean? But I think Kat would be upset, and I think she probably senses that. Like,
Mm.
you probably would favor her because it's always been y'all two against. I mean, she had Chelsea, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Like, but I do think like Martin could, maybe he's going to be the peacemaker, but he would tell these queens like they don't deserve y'all,
Mhm.
and I need him to use that political power to put it to greatness,
Mhm.
get his sisters on track. They ain't gonna get along right now. It's too fresh, but get rid of that idiot Tomas. If maybe Bill will.
It might just be. It might just need to be. Because he's going to have to be exposed at some point. But right now, Kat and Tomas, they are getting along very well. They finally have good sex.
Did you believe it?
Yes, I did.
You think
I
so?
did.
Okay.
I did. I see something in Kat's eyes that I didn't see before. Because we have seen Kat post sex with Tomas looking dead behind the eyes. And after they got out of that closet at the country club, there was light there. So I will say I think that it was real. And Tomas, this is after also, what's so fucked up too? You know what got Kat off, right?
The fact that she got her after Eva.
Yes. That Tomas humiliated Eva once again. And she was able to be like, "Are you okay, Eva?" Like, Tomas finally made a choice. The fact that even Kat and Eva were a part of a choice by someone like Tomas, like I am just so like, girls, we have to move on because he is feeling himself. I hate when fuckboys like him are in these positions because he has every reason to be feeling himself. He's doing good at
Right.
work. He was able to, even if he chose Kat at the end of the day, he still got some of Eva. Eva is begging to be with him. You have Eva's mom coming begging him to be with her as well. Then you have Hayley using him to get Bill jealous. So Tomas is walking around them law offices like he owns it.
Yep.
Very
Exactly, man.
unfortunate. And
And the thing, even if he would, either way, like you said, he was gonna be feeling himself anyway. Look at him,
mhm,
So he was gonna be like, or even if he walked away with neither one of them, he was gonna feel like, I conquered that. It's
mhm. I hope they wake up soon. I hope all of this blows up in his face very soon and Bill finds out because it's about time he got
I wouldn't be able to press him because yeah, he confronted Hayley, Tomas, that is, about like, don't put me in that
mhm,
situation. You could have caused me to lose my job. I need Bill Hamilton just to scare this dude.
mhm.
Use that energy that you mad at Dani and Andre with. Put that energy towards Tomas
Yeah.
and scare the living hell
Because
out of him.
he definitely needs that for
Mhm.
sure. So let's talk about Eva going to Jan and Mona and basically
Mhm.
asking them, "Can you be my mom's friend? Because she needs a friend because she crazy and she's not listening to me. So hopefully you guys can get through to my mom." I was very taken aback that Eva even had the nerve to ask these women that, especially Mona, because she was manipulated and lied to, and the one that put that in motion for everything that happened to
Yep.
Nicole and Ted and that family and broke everything up. Like her reputation with the Dupree family, who
Mhm.
everyone respects. And she was a family friend, and she put that relationship in the back. She feels terrible about it. So I was surprised that Eva even thought that they would even care. Like, she's your mom. Of course you care about Leslie and her well-being, but why would these women care at this point? Mona was like, hell no. But Jan, a little bit more compassionate, and also I think she knows these. So
Mhm.
she was like, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit. I'm gonna see, because there's a fascination with Leslie inheriting all of this money. Of course, you know what I mean. Like, you kind of want the tea. I would want some insight. Let's put it that way. But she,
And a couple dollars.
yeah, that too. Maybe you can help me out how to Jan. But I think Jan relates to Leslie in like the single mom, me and my daughter, ride or die. We were in it together kind of vibe. I think she
Mhm.
relates. to Leslie, and I think she feels for Eva. I think she probably sees a little bit of Ashley and Eva. Eva, sometimes she might get she I do believe she has a good heart and she does care about her mom. So how did you feel about Jan being like, you know what, I'll talk to Leslie?
It made sense, I think because you can't, Leslie can't, everybody can't turn their back on her and hate her forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So somebody had to do it, and Jan a little out there, and Leslie a little out there, so it
Hmm.
made sense. She gonna want to know. So, girl, what was it like with Ted?
Yeah.
So it don't surprise me.
Yep. Yep. Did you get a sense of like joy and happiness seeing Leslie have a friend again? Even though,
No,
you know,
no, not at all. She's still crazy. She ruined everybody's
you're
life, and
right.
she's ruining people's lives. No, if she would have left Ted alone, but I mean, I'm mad at both of them.
Yeah.
He's the idiot for even letting her in the hotel room one
Right.
time too many,
Right.
and then she's her really living in Delulu land, thinking they're gonna get back together. No.
Yeah. Same. And I really hope Jan protects herself. I also
Hmm.
respected that Jan told Leslie about herself. Because I
Yeah,
thought she was gonna be
absolutely.
like, "Oh, I forgive you because I'm just like so nice," but she was like, "No, I'm compassionate. I empathize with some of your story. I care about Eva, but you're gonna have to hear about yourself." So I did appreciate that, and I
Mm-hmm.
do hope we see Leslie interact with other people more because
Yep.
I want to see how she's able to like trick people and be like a completely different person. Because Jan and Mona still don't know everything. They have their suspicions, but they don't even know like
Yeah.
the half of it. So we
Mm-hmm.
will see. We also see real quick that Vernon and Bill made another attempt to see if they can block Leslie moving across the street, and they were like, you know what, it's gonna happen. We can't do it. So we're gonna see a lot of Leslie tormenting the Duprees. So hopefully her friendship with like Jan can hopefully stop
And I'm still
all of that
wondering
from
who's
happening.
Leslie's daddy.
I don't want it to be Vernon.
I do.
Ah, I
Shoot.
do,
He needs some dirt.
but not that. Anything but
It's
that.
got,
Anything but that.
but look, if he a possible,
Yeah.
when she was like, but our daughters, they picked bad men, but they didn't get that from you. Yeah, he was like,
See, I would know better not to make those kind of statements. Everyone on that should have made a statement about a perfect this, the ideal that couple goals,
mm,
relationship goals. All of those couples have imploded.
mm.
So I don't even want to even like go
Or on the rocks like Naomi and
there.
Jacob.
Yes.
I mean, maybe the rocks, maybe they on some stones, but we
Mhm.
saw adversity.
Yeah, we did. Where do you see them going with this? Because we still don't, Naomi may or may not be pregnant. Is it for she's
Mhm.
for sure pregnant, or are they still like kind of
They never got the doctor's
okay? Okay,
test.
so she still has to go to the doctor. I think they're just amongst themselves trying to wrap their heads around it.
Hmm.
So Jacob is like, just give it some thought. I know what we agreed to, in the beginning of our marriage, but the news of you actually maybe being pregnant,
You see how you tried to
I
project
reacted
that on the
differently.
Andre too? When he was like, "But
Yeah,
what if you don't want kids? You say you don't want kids, but what if you do? And then
right.
you don't wasted your time."
Mind
Um,
yours.
yeah, I think for some reason I think Jacob gonna do the right thing.
Hmm.
And I might go back and eat my words for this one. But I said last week, Jacob this is a pivotal situation.
Hmm.
It felt like he was starting to listen with something he wasn't doing before. So I think Jacob, as much as he gets on my nerves, I think he gonna make the right
I think so
decision.
too. And it really just is gonna come down to the fact like, is she really pregnant? And I feel like this is gonna be one of those situations where it's like a false test or something, but it's a test for
Mhm.
their marriage. Are we able to get through
Mm,
this? I am glad that they were like able to openly communicate about this. This is not an easy conversation to have
mm,
with, especially once you're married.
mhm.
People change their minds. Life
Yeah,
changes. Life
yeah.
happens. So I'm not necessarily villainizing Jacob for changing his mind about having kids once he hears that they might actually be having a kid.
Mhm.
However, I'm team Naomi because I understand her not wanting to do something that she never wanted to do and knowing what she wants to focus on in her life. being real about what it means to be a parent, especially as the
Mhm.
woman. And I love that they both said, let's give it some thought. Let's give each other's perspective some thought and see if we can maybe see where each other's coming from, and then we'll revisit it, which I think is a very
Mhm.
mature way to communicate about the situation.
Yeah, I agree.
So team Naomi and Jacob, I still am voting for them to be the one stable marriage on the show. Gatekeepers, we talk about that a lot on the socials. On, is there ever going to be a relationship in the Dupree family or on this show that is not toxic as fuck? And I am hoping that Naomi and Jacob is like that one, and
Mhm.
um Chelsea and Madison.
Yeah, definitely Chelsea and Madison. Shout
Hmm.
out to them.
Yeah. So let's go to another toxic couple on the show, and that is Vanessa and Joey.
Oh yeah, your favorite.
They are my favorite. It's getting messy though.
It is because that little boy,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't stupid.
No, he's not.
Yeah, looking like young Devon Hamilton out there.
He does.
I showed you the
No, he
photo.
does, and that's who I got when he first popped up on the scene. So
Mm-hmm.
I totally see that. But I think he's getting a little too involved.
Oh, definitely.
Where you're talking, because what happens is, if you are a sketchy individual like Joey Armstrong,
Mm-hmm.
you don't say much. Most people in Joey Armstrong's position are not even like visible to the general public. They don't
Right.
speak a lot. There's nowhere where you can put his name in anything. There's nowhere where you can hear his voice or an order that came explicitly from him. That's just who he should be. But I think his feelings for Vanessa, that I always say, I
Mm-hmm.
did not think he would actually develop the feelings that he is, I think are clouding his judgment, because business wise, he had to kill Doug, right? But
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, he feels bad that he has to see this woman that he loves hurt. And an extension of that, her son.
Yeah, and this is what's gonna hurt him in the long run. I think he's gonna get caught slipping.
Mm.
But I understand what you're saying with the son being involved, but his emotions are all over the
Mhm.
place. And the fact that his sister's not there, because we know, she would be the balance. I know, shoot, if I'm acting irrational, my sister got me. She was like, whoa, 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 come on,
Mhm.
reel it in. But even in a situation when two parties are equally hurting, but he's doing everything and he's not stupid. He's putting together so many pieces, which I'm like, Doug, I mean, Joey ain't that gangster. Like, you don't think he would silence the son? I think if he wasn't in love with Vanessa,
Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Yep. Yep. You took the words out of my
Maybe
mouth.
not kill him, but he would, you know, shake him up a little bit. But now, and I think that's what's going to be the Achilles heel of everything. But I'm glad the son is around wreaking havoc.
Yeah. You know what else is gonna get messy too?
Mm.
The fact that Joey is selling Donnell. Like, by
Yeah.
the end of the week, Donnell is like, "Oh my god, Joey, stay."
Hmm.
And what's gonna happen probably is they're gonna seem like this one big happy family for a little bit, and then I think the sister's gonna come home. Like you said, there'll be that balance, because there'll be that other set of eyes to be like, something's up here. But Donnell
Yep.
is gonna have a relationship at that point with Joey. So I think it's just gonna get super, super duper duper messy.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I think Joey's gonna be the one that's gonna probably like suffer from this.
Good.
I mean, I hope not. But
Good. I don't think he's gonna die. I don't think
no,
he's
I
gonna
don't think
die.
he's
Too
gonna
soon.
die, but I
But
feel
he
like
need to suffer.
he's gonna suffer a bit, and he's gonna have to make a hard choice at some point, and that's like all I have to say about that. But do you okay? So I know that they don't want to be home mourning, because the
Hmm.
funeral was last week. But like, is it weird that we are only seeing this grieving family in public places?
No. Just because of that, what you just said,
Okay.
they need to be out in the public space. Because even if they was at Nicole's house, right,
Mhm.
she's gonna start thinking about times when they gonna start mourning together because of like, oh, remember we was double dating and Ted and Doug would go in the other room and talk about the surgeries and
Mhm.
stuff that they were doing. So I think those stuff would be triggers and reminders. So it's like almost like they gotta move fast. And like we always say, everybody grieves differently, it
Right.
has no timetable. But I don't think it's weird at all. I think it makes a lot of sense and brings that human element of
Mm.
not wanting to be in a house, especially after this tragic loss. And then to also remember their last conversation was brutal.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to see them find some peace. I would love to see their family find some peace. But next week, we saw some interesting previews. I already
Hmm.
mentioned Smitty down on one knee. We also see Bill and Dani kissing again in the
Yeah,
law
he can't help
firm.
himself.
Haley
See, Bill?
sees it. What else happens next that we see in the preview? There's always like the
What
one
if?
thing that makes me scream, and then I like almost forget everything else that
Yeah, I feel
happened.
like, why do I feel like Andre did something? There's something with Bill and Andre again.
I hope we get a lot of that next week. I
Yeah.
really
Did you?
do.
Did you see some? Matter of fact, this is the tweet. It said a full week with no Derek and Ashley. I prayed for times like
Oh
this.
yeah. Oh, that was pleasant. That was pleasant. I will say.
Really? You feel the
I
same way?
mean, they're not my favorite storyline.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite storyline right now?
It's Eva, Tomas, and Kat.
Okay. I didn't think you were gonna say that. Mine
Yeah.
is obvious.
Oh no, you know what it is?
What?
Um, so first it's Joey and Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
They was in, well, I should say second because obviously first is Martin. But the big one that made you go because we watched it together was Dani is saying what's it going to be and his decision, telling Naomi it's decision day. So that right there, because
Mm.
I really want to see how Hayley's going to react. That
Me
actually, see,
too.
that's tied for my favorite. I mean, I see like the Dani Hayley Bill. That is
The
the
OG storyline.
it's the arc though
Yeah.
that the whole show is built
Yep.
around. You know what I mean? And everything falls in. So like that's always going to be like my favorite. I will never get enough of that story.
Same.
But I am sitting there like, see, Bill. No offense, Hayley's bad. She's beautiful, but she ain't no Danny Dupree.
No.
And not
And
only if
sometimes it
Danny
take
Dupree,
another guy
mm-hmm,
marrying her, for you to see.
when you move the way Bill do, yes, because he did not realize how great he had it. And what did Danny say? Maybe I should have just cheated on him. I think she said that in the
Mm-hmm.
preview. Maybe she should
To
have
her
just
best
cheated on
friend,
him while
yep.
it's just, oh yeah, just so that she could understand too, but also get him to look at her. It's like, like, bro, he took her for granted.
He absolutely did. And we're gonna see all of that hopefully play out next week.
He reminds me of a quartet singer, a gospel quartet preacher.
Oh gosh.
Bill Hamilton, like them slick backs people, especially him wearing the suits. He looked like he about to go up there and deliver. Like, can't you see him walking around with a Bible in his hand, like he about to deliver a sermon instead of in that briefcase?
Okay.
He looked like a new age preacher. I got one. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a picture of who he looked like. And look, big gatekeepers. If you want to know, I'll send it to you. DM at Brian H Waters on the socials. But yeah, it's just sometimes I'll be like, yo, this dude. Like when I just thinking about, it, I was like, he remind me.
Yep. That's
Thank you, Train. That was perfect. I didn't even have to beep.
Another fantastic week of Beyond the
Mm-hmm.
Gates episodes. I always look forward to recapping the show with you and
Likewise.
our other gatekeepers. If you are new to Loving Them Gates, please hit that subscribe button, that bell for notifications.
Mm-hmm.
We have Beyond the Gates content coming out weekly, recaps. We have deep dives on Bill, Haley, and Dani's love triangle. Eva, Kat, Tomas. We do relationship deep dives on Ashley and Derek and Dani and Andre's marriage. And we are going to be bringing you more deep dives. But we want to know from you, gatekeepers. What do you want to see us
Mhm.
talk about? Who do you want to see us talk about? Do you want to see us do predictions? Do you want to see us do more character deep dives? Let us know in the comments because we will definitely create some content on it.
And thank you to all the people who've been the reoccurring people who come every week when we drop the show and jump in the comment section, or the people who don't even comment but watch it every week. Just want to say thank you. I was at Morgan State University, my alma mater. It's homecoming weekend.
Nice.
Shout out to Morgan State, and there's some gatekeepers there.
Really?
Yeah, some gatekeepers in the alumni
Nice.
section. So I love to see this soap opera audience growing.
Yeah.
Even people who not traditional soap opera viewers, but really fall in love with Beyond the Gates. And let us know, who are your favorite characters? Like, I like knowing about the way people think about the show. I don't like me, I'm not going to be like critical of like, why was the writers have doing this and that. I like to talk about what's happening on the screen, but I do like to know, who do people resonate with? Who's somebody that drives you crazy that you can't stand, that make you go, that's what I love.
Yeah, me too. Like, we were talking before about me missing Doug, and I'm like, I miss yelling at him. I miss being disappointed at him. I wish I miss him on the show. As much as I clowned him, I miss him on the show. But yeah, so make sure you tell a friend, tell your other gatekeepers to tune into the show and to give the feedback. Make sure you like our Facebook page, Loving Them Gates. We be all up in them Facebook groups, so interact with us there as well. And on that note, we'll see you next week.
We out.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining this episode of Loving Them Gates. For more Beyond the Gates content from Six Heart Media, be sure to, 1, like and subscribe, but also check out the podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, as well as the playlist right here. We do deep dives as well as weekly recaps.